Hmm? It is recording also. Not only it is streaming now, it is going to record it also. So for future reference, uh, I can refer it, and I have a small blog. I can upload it there as well. Awesome. So why UiPath will learn? We will learn about version details of this particular tool. Create a simple workflow. How do we create a simple workflow? That I'm going to tell you. And apart from that, how you going to get help of this tool? अभी तो मैं आपको बता दूंगा how exactly this tool works and all, but how you are going to get help? अगर बेसिक आपको जानकारी है और बहुत सारा चीजें आप जानना चाहते हैं इस टूल के बारे में, how you will get help? Okay, how to get help? Okay, how to get help? मैं इसके बारे में आपको इन्फॉर्म करूंगा. How exactly you can get help out of, what are the documentation where you can get more details about this tool. और भी बहुत सारा है. I have lot of topic by the way, but basic things मैं start कर रहा हूँ. Okay, and whatever I'm going to tell you, at least let me cover these pointers now. उसके बाद और भी pointers है. I'll keep on covering those pointers also. It will definitely going to help you. ठीक है? So why UiPath? पर्सनल, इफ आई से माय पर्सनल व्यू, मैं क्यों सीख रहा हूँ UiPath और मैं क्यों एक्सप्लोर कर रहा हूँ दिस टूल को, आई टेल यू. ओके, सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द टूल, दिस इज वन ऑफ द ऑटोमेशन टूल. Okay, and out there, we all know that there are more than 20 plus automation tools are there available in the market. उसमें से तीन टूल टॉप में है. एक है UiPath, ऑटोमेशन एनीवेयर एंड ब्लू प्रिज्म. So if these three tools are on top at this moment in the market, objective is to understand how these two tool behave, how this tool works, and then utility of that particular tool, कैसे काम करता है, उसका बेनिफिट क्या है उस टूल का, और ये टूल सीखने से प्रोस्पेक्ट क्या है, आपको क्या फायदा मिल सकता है, एंड विच काइंड ऑफ यूज केसेस आप इसको यूज कर सकते हैं. ये सारा स्मॉल स्मॉल पॉइंटर्स मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन कर दूंगा. ठीक है? तो वाई यूआईपाथ टूल, ये तो टॉप थ्री टूल्स में से वन ऑफ द बेस्ट टूल्स है. अदर टूल्स है आपका ऑटोमेशन एनीवेयर, एंड दिस इज वन ऑफ द अदर टूल इज यूआईपाथ, एंड देन ब्लू प्रिज्म. दिस टू थ्री टूल्स आर एट टॉप. मैं यहाँ नोट भी कर देता हूँ ताकि यू कैन रिलेट इट ऑल्सो विजुअली. सो वन इज यूआईपाथ. ओके, वन इज यूआईपाथ जो अभी मैं एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ. और एक टूल है ऑटोमेशन एनीवेयर, ए बोलते हैं उसको. यू कैन ऑटोमेशन एनीवेयर. ओके, देन और एक टूल है ब्लू प्रिज्म. देखिए ये तीन टूल है. ये तीन टूल ऑटोमेशन में ही यूज होता है प्राइमरीली. इफ यू आर वर्किंग एनीवेयर, इसका डिटेल्स आई हैव कंडक्टेड कपल ऑफ मोर वर्कशॉप ऑन दिस कि क्या है ऑटोमेशन एंड डिटेल्स. इफ यू आर कीन टू नो, डू पिंग मी, आई विल शेयर यू द रिकॉर्डेड बैकग्राउंड ऑफ व्हाट एग्जैक्टली ऑटोमेशन. बहुत डिटेल में मैंने एक सेशन लिया हुआ है इसके ऊपर, देन यू विल गेट टू नो. बट ये ऑटोमेशन का एक टूल है यूआईपाथ. तो ये अभी दीज टूल्स आर लाइक रैंकिंग होता है, दिस इज वन टू थ्री. So this is the one of the best tool. That's why I'm exploring this to understand क्या क्या features है, functionality क्या है, that I get to learn, correct? That I get to explore further. ठीक है? This is clear? तो why UiPath, ये first is this is good in ranking. Another is ये बहुत feature rich है. Feature rich when I say, this is the tool in front of us, it is open. फीचर रिच मतलब बहुत सारा चीज इसमें किया जा सकता है. सिर्फ ऑटोमेशन नहीं, आई एम ऑब्जर्विंग इट हैज सर्टेन अदर कंपोनेंट. जैसे क्या क्या काम कर सकते हैं इसमें. अगर आप टूल्स में जाएंगे तो यू कैन सी, okay, we can integrate with various browsers and various other application which is available. Other browser, other add-on application I can integrate with. ये possible है. बहुत सारा template by default available है जिसको हम लोग consume कर सकते हैं. Okay, these are called pre-defined template. जैसे MS Excel और Word में template बनाया रहता है, तो उसमें क्या रहता है, ये टेम्पलेट जो बना रहता है रेडी टू यूज है. आप ओपन कीजिए, उस तरह का अगर प्रोसेस है आप उसको रन कर सकते हैं. बैकग्राउंड प्रोसेस मतलब कोई प्रोसेस आपको बैकग्राउंड में रन करना है. देयर आर सर्टेन टेम्पलेट्स आर ऑलरेडी क्रिएटेड. ट्रिगर ट्रिगर बेस्ड अटेंडेड ऑटोमेशन, क्योंकि बेस्ड ऑन सर्टेन ट्रिगर आप ऑटोमेट कुछ करना चाहते हो तो उसका एक टेम्पलेट बनाया हुआ है. डॉक्यूमेंट अंडरस्टैंडिंग, ये बहुत ही एडवांस फीचर है बट बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. मैं मे बी इन फ्यूचर आई विल डेफिनेटली टच बेस दिस. बहुत ही पावरफुल फंक्शनैलिटी है. वी कैन रीड एनी और रीड एंड एक्सट्रैक्ट एनी इंफॉर्मेशन from this from any kind of unstructured semi-structured document. ये उस समय यूज होता है. ASAP testing project, if you have a ASAP model, you can test it with this particular. These are nothing but templates. Okay, we can create it from scratch. Template क्या करता है, आपको पहले से एक background दे देता है, and if you follow that particular background, you will get to you no need to create something from scratch. आपको सिर्फ वो पैटर्न फॉलो करना पड़ेगा, एंड यू विल बी रेडी टू गेट स्टार्टेड टू डूइंग टेस्टिंग ऑन टेस्टिंग, एसएपी टेस्टिंग. और जो जो यहाँ बना हुआ है ट्रांजैक्शन प्रोसेस, मतलब मानिए आपका प्रोसेसेस है, इनपुट्स है, वो ट्रांजैक्शनल बेसिस है. ओके, मल्टीपल लाइंस है, एक एक ट्रांजैक्शन आपको प्रोसेस करना है, तो इस तरह का टेम्पलेट आप यूज कर सकते हो. तो दिस इज द बैकग्राउंड. ओके, नाउ इफ आई ओके, दिस इज द बैकग्राउंड कि क्या क्या हो सकता है टूल में, क्यों चूज कर रहे हैं. अच्छा, नाउ द मेन पॉइंट आई वांट टू टेल यू दैट एडवांटेज क्या है. व्हाई एग्जैक्टली दिस टूल ओनली एडवांटेज, व्हाट इज द एडवांटेज ऑफ दिस. Correct, this is a very basic question. You may come across that, okay, why this tool only I should learn and why not other tools. As per my point of view, बहुत सारा parameters are there, but one point of view is, first of all, what I like most is ये .NET में बेस्ड है. ओके, इट इज बेस्ड ऑन डॉट नेट, तो सारा जो लाइब्रेरीज और फंक्शन है डॉट नेट का, आई कैन कंज्यूम इट. दैट इज व्हाट इज द की फीचर आई लव. तो ये क्या है, मोस्ट ऑफ द जो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट प्लेटफॉर्म में हम लोग काम करते हैं, तो वो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट प्लेटफॉर्म में इट इंटरेक्ट्स मोर इजीली. दिस पर्टिकुलर टूल इंटरेक्ट्स मोर इजीली, फंक्शनैलिटी रिच है. अब बहुत सारा एक्टिविटी और काम को डायरेक्टली आप राइट अवे कर सकते हो विद द एग्जिस्टिंग लाइब्रेरी. तो आपको अलग से कुछ क्रिएट नहीं करना पड़ता है, एंड अलग से कोई प्रोग्रामिंग आपको राइट भी नहीं करना पड़ता है. राइट अवे यू कैन execute and work with this particular tool. तो फर्स्ट पैरामीटर एज आई मेंशन डॉट नेट लाइब्रेरी. ठीक है. सेकेंड, व्हाट आई लव मोस्ट अबाउट दिस टूल कि इसका एक फ्री वर्जन देता है, लोग फ्री देता है 60 डेज के लिए. तो इससे क्या होता है, इसको लर्न एंड एक्सप्लोर करना इजी हो जाता है. मेरे मेरे ख्याल से दिस इज वन ऑफ द की फीचर दैट पीपल कैन एक्सप्लोर एंड लर्न इट. I love this because even it has a, it's called community edition. तो community edition में ये free रहता है 60 डेज के लिए. After this again आप दूसरा email ID से register कर लीजिए, you will be able to explore anyway. So this is the second parameter which is free of cost. Fine. Other than that, what I like most in this tool is the rich activity. You say rich activity. Rich activity मतलब literally all as per the count 250 प्लस एक्टिविटीज ऑलरेडी. एक्टिविटी मतलब क्या है, जो भी काम हम लोग करते हैं ना, एक्शन हम लोग लेते हैं, उसका ऑलरेडी कमांड बना हुआ है. इफ ऑलरेडी कमांड बना हुआ है, देन व्हाट इट हैपेंस दैट आई नो नीड टू क्रिएट इट, समथिंग आई एम ट्राइंग टू एग्जीक्यूट. तो आई नो नीड टू क्रिएट दैट एक्टिविटी राइट अवे, ऑलरेडी दीज फंक्शनैलिटीज आर देयर. तो दिस इज अनदर एस्पेक्ट ऑफ इट, रिच इन एक्टिविटी, which is really good. 250 plus, and uske on top of it, on plus there are packages. So packages is nothing, again pre-built activity which is available via packages also. अगर आप कोई कोई पैकेज को enable कर देते हो, you will get more richer functionality. So by this way it is very rich in functions. That is what I mean to say. That is what I love about this tool. Other than that, I observe it has all the command in order to do this intelligent automation. Okay, so we call it IPA, intelligent process automation. So IPA हम लोग इसके थ्रू कर सकते हैं. We can literally do IPA with this because this tool helps us to integrate with, for example, IPA मतलब क्या होता है कि हम लोग बेसिक ऑटोमेशन तो करते ही हैं, बेसिक ऑटोमेशन तो करते ही हैं. ऑन टॉप ऑफ बेसिक ऑटोमेशन हम लोग उसमें कॉग्निटिव ऑटोमेशन को भी मर्ज कर सकते हैं, कॉग्निटिव ऑटोमेशन को भी मर्ज कर सकते हैं. So basic automation we have already, and on top of it I can merge cognitive automation. So this is the advantage of this tool, I believe, and this is very rich in cognitive functionality and futuristic functionality. ठीक है, इसके बारे में भी मैं डिटेल में टच बेस करूंगा कि क्या क्या फंक्शनैलिटी कॉग्निटिव के अंडर में आता है, क्या क्या फंक्शनैलिटी है, एंड हाउ एग्जैक्टली वी कैन कंज्यूम इट. फाइन, फेयर इनफ, दिस पार्ट इज ऑल्सो क्लियर. नाउ प्रोग्रेसिंग फर्दर, IPA I like most. Packages मैंने यहाँ बोल दिया है. This is also I like most. Apart from that, let's go with the tool. Yeah, it is a part of low code family. What does it mean? that there are tools which has right now coming in a market where you no need to code extensively to work with that particular tool. तो आप क्या कर सकते हो in this particular tool you can work with a low code. You no need to code extensively with that. तो आप low code के through से आपको सिर्फ drag and drop करना है and you will be able to execute that action right away. So that's the advantage of this particular action, low code. So I love about this functionality also. On top of it, the UI I love, because it has literally all the controls which I required to develop and developed, monitor, debug. Okay, so here develop, debug, and monitor. I can say that. So develop plus, okay, debug plus monitor. I can do all three in one UI, and UI is very user friendly. So why that way it helps us to learn. I will talk about this UI later on, but this is another very useful things in UiPath. It's very, very user friendly. You can understand, okay, what is going on and all, everything. Now, last but not the least, as per I understand, is customization. Customization. Customization, and one more is cost efficient. Cost efficient. So I can do literally customization in this particular tool with the help of external codes like Python. I can integrate Python. Python को integrate कर सकते हैं, Java के साथ integrate कर सकते हैं. I am not sure corely on Java, but definitely with Python हम लोग कर सकते हैं. But Java I will explore right away. Okay, let's see right away. Java इसमें functionality है क्या? Let's have a look. Then we'll be clear on this right away whether it supports Java or not. Okay, so give me a second. Go back to this, go back to this, and here we have activities. Here you search. Let's say here we can search Java. यहाँ नहीं दिख रहा, डोंट वरी, गो टू पैकेजेस. पैकेज में जाके सर्च कीजिए कि यहाँ जावा का पैकेज है या नहीं. दीज आर डिफॉल्ट पैकेजेस. प्रोजेक्ट डिपेंडेंसी, ये डिपेंडेंट प्रोजेक्ट है. आई विल एक्सप्लेन दिस ऑल्सो कि क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे. नाउ इफ आई गो बैक टू मार्केट प्लेस, यहाँ चेक कीजिए जावा का फंक्शनैलिटी है या नहीं. इफ आई हैव जावा फंक्शनैलिटी, दैट मीन्स आई विल बी एबल टू कंज्यूम इट. I'll be able to utilize it. If I don't have Java functionality, I may not be able to utilize it. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे जाके चेक करते हैं, do I have Java functionality? Search Java package है क्या? Java? Anything to do with? No, I'm not seeing it. Marketplace में भी Java का functionality और packages नहीं है. So I doubt on this, right? Official भी हाँ, officially Java का है, utility Java activity. देखिए. So as I told you, correct? जावा फंक्शनैलिटी ऑल्सो इट हैज. सो ये पैकेज मिला मेरे को, ये ऑफिशियल पैकेज है. दिस इज मार्केट प्लेस, मतलब थर्ड पार्टी की, जैसे प्ले स्टोर हमारा होता है, यहाँ पे भी हम लोग सर्च कर सकते हैं कोई पैकेजेस है या नहीं. ऑफिशियली ये पैकेज है और ये पैकेज को मेरे को इंस्टॉल करना है. देन आई विल गेट द जावा फंक्शनैलिटी. ये ग्रीन हो जाएगा तो ये इंस्टॉल हो गया. ग्रीन हो गया तो दैट इज इंस्टॉल इन माई सिस्टम. ठीक है, तो फंक्शनैलिटी है. यहाँ बहुत सारा डिटेल्स यहाँ दिख रहा है, कब लास्ट ईयर रिलीज हुआ था, दिस डेट इट इज लास्ट रिलीज. एंड यूआईपाथ एक्टिविटी में अंडर आता है ये जावा एक्टिव एक्टिविटी पैक. तो जावा एक्टिविटी पैक होता है रन टाइम, लोएस्ट एप्लीकेशन वर्जन और स्ट्रिक्ट फाइन. वर्जन भी दे दिया है एंड दिस इज गेटिंग इंस्टॉल्ड राइट नाउ. ओके, जब ये पैकेज इंस्टॉल हो जाएगा ग्रीन हो जाएगा एंड देन रिलेटेड एक्टिविटी को मैं यहाँ सर्च कर पाऊंगा. आई विल बी एबल टू सर्च दोज एक्टिविटी राइट अवे इन दी पैनल. ठीक है, सो वन थिंग इज कंफर्म नाउ that Java it has, but Java में क्या क्या कर सकते हैं? Can I call the Java codes? Can I run the scripts? Can I run the function? Can I do that? वो हम लोग इसको explore करेंगे once it is installed. Fine. Let's get back to the topic. So Python, Java भी कर सकते हैं and by default it is in .NET that I mentioned at the beginning. By default it is in .NET. So these are the advantages I believe. Cost saving भी है ये compared to other tool. Based on they have multiple plan based on that. Okay, based on that also it said, because licensing structure is very flexible of this particular tool compared to any other tool what I have observed so far. So that's how I can see this. Okay, let's go back to the um, other areas of it. This is fine. Okay, so go back to the tool. It is still getting installed. Once we do that, click on save. Once it is installed, click on save. This package will be included right away there. Fine. Now what I wanted to highlight is, so I think if I go back to the notebook, let it install, no worries there. First, what are the things? Why UiPath version detail. Okay, which version we are learning, that I will now touch base. Why UiPath? I given some rationale behind it, why we are learning it. Now version detail, what comes under this versioning? Okay. Now, as I observe, UiPath has couple of versions. Okay. Primarily, what I observe. Okay, I'm deleting this part. Now, if I talk about versions, okay, in UiPath, else I can do one thing. Give me a second. I can take a screenshot of it because later on I can use this. Okay, that's it. And go back. So, versioning. Now we are talking about, okay, version. Now, version first is community. We have community version, and in community also we have pro, and we have, there are two versions are there. One is pro, one is for business user, which is X, Pro X most likely. I will check this name also, but it has two version within community itself. This is community within community, and there is one, yeah, these are primarily. This is for business user. बिजनेस यूजर मतलब बिजनेस एनालिस्ट होते हैं ना, दे यूटिलाइज इट, जिनको कोरली कोड नहीं करना पड़ता, दे यूटिलाइज दिस. प्रो वर्जन इज नथिंग बट फॉर कोरली डेवलपमेंट. दिस इज फॉर कोरली डेवलपमेंट. ओके. So Pro is for primarily for development, and Pro X or something. I am not confident that यही नाम है, but और एक version है. We'll look into that also. Okay. Now business user can use this, and this is for Corely developer. ये एक तरह का version हो गया. ये type 1 बोल सकते हैं. Type 1. ठीक है. Type 2 क्या होता है? What is type 2? Type 2 होता है enterprise. Enterprise version. Now in enterprise version also we have the same. But enterprise में क्या है? What I observed so far, there is these two things. These two things we have a desktop edition. Desktop edition. And this is also desktop edition we have, by the way. So I should not ignore this. This is, I am working right now in community, and that is also in desktop edition. So we have desktop edition. In this also I will highlight there is a component of the tool, component बोलते हैं, component of the tool which is called orchestrator. Orchestrator is not a desktop version. ये cloud में है. This is in cloud. We consume this in cloud. ठीक है. Desktop version means in local system it is installed. And it has also the same two functionality. मतलब it has also this for developer user and business user we have it. So we have developers, and we have for business user. These are the two versions are there. Developer and for business user. Fair enough. Now coming back to the there is one more component they have introduced, which is for testing. Although I don't have much idea on this part, we'll touch base this later on, and maybe we'll explore what is the testing module and all, how exactly we work on this. Fine, we'll touch base this later on. But this is what happened. This is primarily for testers. We can test automate also. So it's for automation testing. This is for automation testing right away. Now, these are the various versions are available. If you go back to based on the versioning, so we have community, we have enterprise, and enterprise. These are the classification of these value. Yeah, these are the various value hai available. And based on, as of now, we will focus on this particular version. This particular version. We're going to focus on desktop version, not enterprise, by the way. Sorry, we can go into this one. whatever we are touch base and we are mostly utilizing is this pro version of which is for developer under community, which is for 16 days, and it is a desktop version. So this is about the versioning part. What is the various versions and how exactly we consume it? I hope it is clear. Now moving to the next topic. If I go back to this, okay, yeah. Next, so अभी क्या सीखा? Why this particular tool and version? What is this particular version is all about? Then okay, create a simple workflow. Now I have already created, but I will highlight some of the point of it and how to get help. So in order to create a simple workflow, we navigate to this. We have already created a simple workflow, but I will create further a simple workflow, which is this. Now, prior to starting, we need to know some background that what is this tool. We need to understand the UI. किस तरह से this UI is going to help you. How exactly it is going to help you. What are the various component of the UI and how those component behaves and when we should use it. These are the pointers you need to keep in mind prior to get started. But as a demo, I'm just going to just showcase you that how exactly it is doing some activity. It is very basic activity, but it is trying to do some activity. What it is trying to do, so first of all, there is a concept of these concept also will cover up. I'm deleting this. Okay. Before we get started, three things, okay, three type of flow we need to understand. तीन flow होता है, तीन type का flow होता है, उसको we have to understand. How, what are the three flows? One is we call it flow only. Okay, another is we call it sequence. Okay, uh, uh, one is called sequence. Fine, sequence. Another is called state machine. Another component is called RE framework. These are the four basic workflow we can create in UiPath. One is flow diagram, one is sequence, another is state machine, another is RE framework. I'll talk about in a high level of all these four so that you can understand, at least have this background. Because when I create a flow, I will use this structure only. Either I will create a workflow or create a small bot with the help of flow, or else I will use a sequence, or else I will use a state machine, or else I will use RE framework in a overall. So it's like a part of pyramid only. First is RE framework. First is RE framework. In RE framework only we are consuming state machine. State machine, within state machine we are consuming. Yeah, this would not be a wrong statement. Within state machine we are using sequence and flow both within state machine. So this is how it is orchestrated. ओके, दिस इज हाउ इट इज आउट, इस तरह से ये ऑर्केस्ट्रेट है. सबसे पहला जो ग्राउंड रूल है और ग्राउंड फ्रेमवर्क है वो आरई फ्रेमवर्क है. व्हाट इज दिस फ्रेमवर्क इज ऑल अबाउट? फ्रेमवर्क क्या होता है? फ्रेमवर्क क्या होता है? फ्रेमवर्क इज नथिंग, इट्स ए टेम्पलेट, इट्स ए अप्रोच ऑफ वर्किंग एंड इट इज नॉट टूल स्पेसिफिक. ये यूआईपाथ का फ्रेमवर्क है, आरई फ्रेमवर्क, बट देयर आर अदर टूल्स एंड दे हैव देयर ओन फ्रेमवर्क्स एंड विच वी कैन कंज्यूम इट. Every technical activities or every technical approach has a framework. What it helps, how it helps is that it standardize the practices. Framework का objective क्या है? इसको एक standard में convert किया जाता है. And if you follow that best practice or standardization, then it will give you the best possible outcome. तो आरई framework का काम वही है कि एक framework है. If you follow this आरई framework, it will take care of your workflow automatically. In detail I will touch base. I already conducted a workshop on this also. RE framework क्या है नहीं है, I have already covered it. If you want, let me know, ping me back. I will share this link. You can study more about RE framework. क्या है, कब यूज करते हैं, ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है RE framework का, and what is required to be done. I have already covered. But in a high level, if I touch base right now, it is nothing but a framework which we consume, uh, which we use for standardizing the approach of automation. As simple as that. Fair enough. Now state machine. State machine is nothing but uh, it is a high level workflow where we consume flow and sequence both. keep that statement or as of now. Okay, it is much beyond than that, because we can not only integrate flow and sequences, we can integrate logics and other component in state machine also, and I can include trigger also in state machine. But in a high level, I can tell that this is a workflow. This is a high level workflow where we can consume flow and sequence together. On top of it, some logical component. So state machine, it will not be a wrong that I use flow plus sequence plus trigger plus other commands. I combine all of them in state machine and do it. What is the utility of it is mostly in attended automation we use state machine. And to visualizing कि output किस तरह से दिख रहा है, imagine a manager or a business analyst wanted to visualize them. For them it is helpful. By using state machine they can visualize that how exactly it is working, what is the how the entire flow is orchestrated. They can visualize it. On that area state machine helps us. Now, sequence and flow is neck to neck. Neck to neck means parallel. Either you can work on flow, you can consume flow or sequence in your path. Flow is nothing but it's a diagrammatic representation of action. It's a diagrammatic representation of action. Okay, so if you have like this is a workflow. So this is action, this is decision, this is start, this is stop. So this is nothing but a workflow. So what it is, what we are doing in this is we are diagrammatically representing my action here. Simple. Sequence is also a representation of action, but it is in a sequential manner. Sequential manner. The way any typical coding, ID works. Any typical coding ID works in this sequential manner. So these are the core component before we start, because we will create our bot in these four बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट. हम लोग या तो फ्लो यूज करते या तो सीक्वेंस और एल स्टेट मशीन और एल सारी फ्रेमवर्क. This is how it works. Okay, I hope it is clear. Let's move back to the creating a small component out of it. Fine. Already I created a task. I'll explain this task कि क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे. So first of all, this is a nothing but a sequence. I'm consuming it here. Main task है. Within that there is a sequence. So if I hover over it, you can see the property वहाँ दिख रहा है. टाइप लिखा हुआ है सीक्वेंस. कैन यू सी दैट? टाइप वहां लिखा हुआ था सीक्वेंस. सो इफ इट इज सीक्वेंस, विद इन दिस सीक्वेंस आई एम यूजिंग एक्टिविटी. ये जो एक्टिविटी असाइन है, असाइन एक्टिविटी है. इफ यू सर्च हेयर, यहाँ पे ही आप सर्च कर सकते हो जो भी एक्टिविटी, यहाँ एक्टिविटी पैनल है, यू कैन सर्च दिस एक्टिविटी. तो मैंने यहाँ सर्च करा असाइन एक्टिविटी. इफ आई सर्च असाइन एक्टिविटी, I will get assign activity. So these many places or these many ways I can utilize assign activity. Within favorite, it is frequently I'm using, it is within favorite. Recent I'm recently used, that's why it is here. But available within this task में assign task होता है, और assign activity workflow में control work, under workflow there are control workflow, under में assign activity होता है. So this is nothing but a action. Assign means, if you know this, this is a numerical operator, by the way. If you observe this, if you have this idea and concept, let's say 2 plus 3, assign equals to, this is assign to wherever. I'll say, it's like a, okay, x1 plus x2 equals to y. Now this activity is assigned. So I'm assigning from certain value, certain operator, certain value. We can use a kind of expression. It could be anything, plus, minus, any kind of operator we can use. And based on that, we are using assign. Assign is nothing. It is transferring this data, this value from one to another. And within this also, if you have any expression, which expression include a, let's say, any kind of operation, any kind of operation like plus, minus, any kind of operation, that also get included into it. And by the way, that is not the part of assign, that is part of expression. But assign is just assigning the value from x to y. That's it. This is assign. So now this is very interesting. I can a little bit explain you. Assign को in programming also हम लोग बोलते हैं इसको casting. Casting. Now this could be in multiple way. The casting could be multiple way. Casting किस तरह से होता है? Casting, imagine I have a number value. I can assign that number value as string. ठीक है? String मतलब अल्फाबेट, ओके, मतलब वर्ड्स, सेंटेंसेस. नंबर मीन्स न्यूमेरिक वैल्यू. सो आई कैन असाइन दिस फ्रॉम नंबर टू स्ट्रिंग. सो ये इसको बोलते हैं कास्टिंग. तो असाइन कर रहे हैं ना, आई एम यूजिंग इन असाइन, देन ओनली आई एम ट्रांसफरिंग इट. सेम गोज फॉर स्ट्रिंग, एंड आई एम असाइनिंग दैट स्ट्रिंग. लेट्स से मेरे पास एक स्ट्रिंग वैल्यू है, उसके अंदर वैल्यू है 12, लेकिन ये टेक्स्ट वैल्यू है. इस टेक्स्ट को मेरे को नंबर में कन्वर्ट करना है. देन आई एम यूजिंग assign. I am assigning into a number variable. तो ये जब यहाँ 12 होगा, this will be treating as a numeric value. Similar, okay, so we can do this with string. We can do this with string. We can do this with number. We can do this with date and time. Date and time. We can do this with boolean, bool. We can do this with these kind of data types. We can assign, we interchange, we can cast with the help of this assign command. Okay, now head back to the topic again. So ये assign क्या कर रहा है? Assign, I'm assigning a value. Now you got it right. Assigning a value. What is the value? Dictionary. I'm assigning a dictionary value. In this dictionary value, let me copy and show you what is the expression. इसको बोलते हैं expression. ठीक है, ये जो लिखा हुआ है ना, this is called expression. तो dictionary dot get file, वहां पे मैं बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ से ना आप फाइल उसको रीड करो. फ्रॉम दिस डायरेक्टरी आप उस फाइल को रीड करो जो भी फाइल्स इस डायरेक्टरी में है. दैट इज व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू डू विद दिस एक्सप्रेशन. ये एक्सप्रेशन बहुत ही ईजी होता है, तो आप कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है. व्हाट आई हैव ऑब्जर्व इज, मैं इसका एक बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस आपको बताता हूँ किस तरह से यू विल यूज दिस एक्सप्रेशन. थोड़ा सा आपको बैकग्राउंड पता होना होगा कि हाउ एग्जैक्टली आई कैन यूज दिस एक्सप्रेशन, क्या क्या एक्सप्रेशन है. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू ऑब्जर्व दिस, दिस इज द एक्सप्रेशन. फाइन, मैं आपको एक बेसिक ऑप्शन दिखा रहा हूँ. जस्ट ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप दिस एक्शन. लुक एट दिस, ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप. आई हैव दिस. यहाँ कुछ भी एक वैल्यू है. लेट्स से आई एम जस्ट मेकिंग ए नोट ऑफ loop. Okay, here I am going to try that assign, although this name is not accepting. Now this error means this name is not acceptable. Okay, let's say all file only, no problem. Okay, and here I can search. So these are my method searching option. I can search method, I can search properties, I can search classes, I can search namespace, I can search constants, I can search keywords. Based on that, ये जो expression मैंने write किया है, that expression I can write or search right away based on this particular ready to use command. Ready to use command I have available. Now यहाँ पे मैंने सिर्फ लिखा dictionary, just imagine, okay, or directory. These are now look at this. By the icon you can identify key, for example A. A say you can identify, if you click on this based on icon you can identify all file. It's a activity, all files. It's a name. This is the name, correct? All file ये name दिखा रहा है, variable का नाम है all file. So by icon I can identify, this is most critical guys, okay, this is really really critical. You can literally find कि क्या क्या functionality है and what are the namespace of .NET exposed into UiPath which I can consume. This is a stage which we literally need to explore further and understand in detail that how exactly it works, because this will be really really helpful in order to give you an idea that what type of library by default expose in UiPath. Number one. Number two, it will give an idea that okay, which kind of functionality embedded in UiPath. Embedded in UiPath. Okay. That is another way it will definitely going to help you out. ओके, सो बाय द आइकन यू कैन आइडेंटिफाई. आइकन यहाँ पे डिफाइन किया हुआ है, आपको कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है कौन सा क्या है, आप क्लियरली समझ सकते हो कौन सा क्या क्या चीजें हैं. ठीक है, यू कैन मीन्स क्लैरिफाई दिस. ठीक है, तो यहाँ आप देख रहे हैं ये आइकन है, ये आइकन का मीनिंग क्या है? दीज आर क्लासेस. ठीक है, क्लासेस, दोज आर क्लासेस. सो क्लासेस, अब नाउ यू हैव टू हैव लिटिल बिट बैकग्राउंड ऑन, लिटिल बिट मतलब थोड़ा सा बैकग्राउंड होना चाहिए प्रोग्रामिंग का, तब आप समझ पाएंगे क्लासेस होता क्या है. मैं अभी उसमें तो नहीं जा रहा हूँ, बट आई कैन टच बेस दैट ऑल्सो. ठीक है, ओके. क्लासेस इज नथिंग बट अगेन इट्स ए framework, what I call it, or approach through which we create reusable function within a particular class, we have multiple function assigned to it, or and it's a nothing but I can call it a library also. It's nothing but a library. Within that particular class library, I have multiple function to it. तो जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल ये एक क्लास है एबी क्लाउड ओसीआर. इफ आई यूज दिस, जो जो एबी का फंक्शनैलिटी है वो मेरे को यहाँ पे दिखने को मिलेगा. आई कैन सर्च दैट. आई विल बी एबल टू locate those functionality within this Abby Cloud OCR. So this is nothing but classes. Understand? Now, this is a very good point I highlight. So first of all, you have to, classes is nothing as set of library as I mentioned. So this is you have to observe कि किस तरह का what are the different activities I have. Now, these classes are connected with the packages I have installed. जो जो पैकेज मैंने एक्सपोज किया है इंस्टॉल किया है द सेम पैकेजेस आई हैव हियर एज क्लासेस. अंडरस्टैंड दिस कनेक्शन. ओके, मैंने एक पैकेज किया है इंस्टॉल. वो पैकेज में क्या है, फंक्शनैलिटीज है. जब व्हेन आई एम इंस्टॉलिंग दैट पैकेज, वो यहाँ पे मेरे को एक्सपोज कर दे रहा क्लासेस, उसका लाइब्रेरीज और फंक्शन जो भी है. सो दैट्स हाउ इट इज गेटिंग एक्सपोज हेयर. तब जाके मैं उसको एक्सपोज कर पा रहा हूँ. तो ये एबी एबी क्लाउड ओसीआर यू कैन सी राइट. देखिए मैं इसका रिलेशन आपको बता रहा हूँ. इफ यू गो टू दिस पैकेजेस and if you just search Abby, Abby actually OCR engine है. यहाँ मैं नहीं दिखा रहा. all packages दिख रहा है. look at this. These are the all packages. These are all available packages are there. Okay, when I install these related packages, तब मेरा वो डेडिकेटेड जब सिस्टम जो सिस्टम नॉट दिस वन ऑफिशियल जो भी होगा, जब मैं इसको इंस्टॉल करूंगा तो इससे एसोसिएटेड क्लास विल बी रिप्रेजेंटिंग देयर. दैट्स हाउ इट इज वर्किंग. लुक एट दिस. So here these are the system classes already available, or libraries or functionalities already available related with Abby OCR. UiPath Abby FR, this is bundle, this is embedded activity, and this is again bundle, and this is Abby activity. So you can see it here. This is if it is showing is install this package means it is not yet installed. I have to install it, but these are official affiliated by UiPath packages. Now marketplace also I have this Abby, this particular activity. What it does, everything is explained here. हर एक package क्या करता है. Then I have another third party component from where I have multiple other packages on Abby OCR. ये एक थर्ड पार्टी है nugget.org. वहां से भी मेरे को ये थर्ड पार्टी पैकेजेस मिल जाएंगे. And I can consume it in my work also. There are certain packages are chargeable, certain are free. Okay. So we can explain that also if we go to this, and we can check that out. In the description it is mentioned. So we can look at it. So that's the relation कि ये जो libraries यहाँ expose हो रहे हैं, how it is all connected. It is connected based on those library which is attached to it. So Abby Cloud OCR default है, Abby OCR, Abby version. Then look at this, accepted market. These are various classes available. So whatever activity मैं करना चाहता हूँ ना, what is the best practice is go here and now search those details, those kind of activity and libraries here. अगर वो library है, if I have that library, मैं उसको consume कर सकता हूँ in my actions here right away. That's the background what I have observed so far. Look at this, so many. Now these are all the by icon you can classify. At least you know that now. A classes है, and if you have this bracket, what is this bracket means? ये namespace है. Under classes namespace comes in. Sorry, within namespace, under namespace classes comes in. एक namespace मतलब this is again in .NET you will get more clarity. What are the namespaces available within this? Okay, again it's a group of library. Now what is the difference between class and namespace? Let me search. Let me Google it. Let me Google it. Difference between namespace and class. It is always good to check. Again, it is a .NET concept, but it is there is no difference if we check this out. Classes are the data types. They are the expected concept of structure. They can contain data number, but they can also contain functions as members, whereas namespace is simply an abstract way of grouping item together. A namespace cannot be created as an object. Think of it more as a naming convention. Okay, namespace is nothing but a naming convention, whereas classes is, as I said, it's a group of data type as well as functionality. I hope it is clear. That is what is happening here. Now, what are the other method और क्या क्या method यहाँ पे है? So we observe about classes here right away. We can observe here classes, जो classes है, whatever classes are available here, and whatever namespace are available here. Now, namespace we know already. It's a naming convention to call that particular functionality. It is available. Now, then we have, apart from that, we have, you can see here, these are properties of that functions. Properties, but we don't have any property exposing here. We don't have, correct? What we have is properties. I will explain what exactly it is. Now the first one is, give me a second, these are method. More critical is method. So this hierarchy is very important. Wait, I think I need to draw this conclusion of hierarchy. This will be a good concept to understand. So we have okay, this is a good concept to understand. See, this is very minute thing, but we should not ignore this part. So look at this keyword. I don't know where keywords fits in, but fine. Keywords, class, namespace. Then we have, I think, go back here. Okay. Methods we know. Methods we have properties, classes, namespace, constants. Okay. Constants, method, methods, and properties. Oh. Okay. Now these are the various component we have, or I will rather say that these are the various principles we use in programming primarily. Now, how these are all connected, I need to understand what is keyword. When they say it's a keyword, what does it mean by keyword? When they say it is a keyword, what is keyword here? Search it. Okay, where is keyword? Do we have any keyword here? Okay, we don't have any keyword here. Okay. So, okay, I have another agenda to highlight is how do you get the help of it? उसको मैं एक बार explain कर दे रहा हूँ. Then we'll figure this out also. Any activity we have, you write on that particular activity. If you right click on this and you click on this help activity, help. What it does, it will trigger that documentation of this functionality. Now, how it helps exactly is that with this documentation we can learn कि क्या क्या हो सकता है, what is the input required, description of the task, input क्या है, output क्या है, all these parameters we can explore about that particular activity. That's how we can learn. इस तरह से हम लोग उसको समझ सकते हैं, जान सकते हैं in detail about that particular features and functionality. तो यहाँ आप देख सकते हैं assign के बारे में पूरा documentation है, and this is official documentation. Anything and everything you wanted to learn, you will be able to locate here, find here, and observe and explore. No, yeah, Studio X. I was confused in this. Correct, Studio X. So we have Studio and we have Studio X. So Studio is for development and Studio X is for business users. Fine. Now it is loading. It is bit slow. It is bit slow, but it's loading. That's the association of it. Okay, we can get help. Similarly, in this library only, if I just search here, although it is little bit slow, why don't I copy it? And I have another machine. Okay, I'm not able to search there, but let me check it here. Okay, go back here. Now, if I try to search here, how do I search it? Is the same link I have, I pasted it here. Let's see. Okay, no, not this one. Yeah, this one. Okay, open it up. It's opening. It's a bit slow, but it's fine. Any question? I think, let me check. Hey, hi, I observe Sila. Yeah, yeah, I'm good. Hope you are also good. Let me know if you have a question on this particular tool. If you are observing it and if you have any question, let me know. Okay, great. So let's observe further how exactly we can do this. We'll check this out. Okay, it's a bit slow. Okay, okay, it's loading. Okay, leave this part. So by that way, we have a official documentation and everything and anything we can find it here. Now the topic I want to cover is this hierarchy. Now, what is keyword in UiPath? Let me search it. I have another tab. In that tab, I can search it right away very fast. Give me a second. So, what is keyword here? So I'll search keyword in UiPath. So, if I search keyword in UiPath, what does it mean? So, keyword set can be defined within a line or by using the multiple lines. When set within a line, it defines the given input. For example, if X, Y, and Z are listed as keywords, then the search is looking for X and Y and Z. What keyword based classifier? Keyword based classifier. Keyword is I believe, as per my understanding, it is not directly defined right away, not available, but it must be there. I need to explore further. But what is keyword I can understand is that whatever activity we are looking for, method we are looking for, keyword of that primarily. But again, it has a question mark. I'm not clear on this. Okay. But class we already observe, it's a nothing but class is nothing but it's a data type as well as it's a group of function. Group of function. Fair enough. Class आता है. Namespace is nothing as I observe namespace. If you observe this particular definition of namespace, which we observe, a namespace cannot be created as an object. Think of an item more naming convention. So it's nothing but there are set of functionality. Based on that particular functionality, we can locate with the based on namespace. So it's a okay. So I will rather say function name. Okay, it could be in group also. It's a function name which could be in group also. Now the next parameter is constraint. What is constraint? Just search it, okay? To for proper definition, constraint, basic principle, constraints in programming. Search it. What is constraint? As per the definition, constraint is a relation between multiple variables which limit the value these variable can take simultaneously. Let us observe. Okay, initial constraints, which is fine. Now decision making constraints, specification problem. Okay, initial constraints, new situation which is dynamic, but constraints satisfaction problem, constraints propagation and decision making and new constraints. Okay, constraints in programming, a relation among variable which is fine, relation among variable which is fine. CP is a okay declare programming paradigm and programming state of constraints is a problem. The system find the solution. Look at this. Constraints programming. So, okay, can I find a simpler example of constraint? Constraint, wait. Defi define initial constraints, current set of constraints, new constraints, okay, deduce constraints, conditions, okay, deduce conditions and okay, by the way, not this one. But what is the best way to explore this? Constraints, okay. Always check this up. Okay. Model, we have variable, domain value, and constraints. Constraints solver, variable with appropriate value from domain satisfying the constraints. Solution. No, this is also not answering it. Go back. See, if we don't have answer, we will keep on looking it. Okay, so don't worry. We'll find a simpler example, and there are penalty of it. Just we need to search it. What exactly constraints is. So it's nothing. See, I can relate. What it is saying is that it is an, of course, programming approach. It's nothing but a constraint is a restrictions. Either syn okay, if I okay, either is okay, synaptic or semantic by which the expression of language element is to be imperated. Not that clear. Between the multiple variable with limit the value these variable can take simultaneously. Okay, is the paradigm to solve okay combinational problem that draw on a wide range of techniques from AI and computer science and operational research. Is constraints programming used declarative state and constraints on the feasible solution of a set of decision variables. See, I know a approach of constraint which I studied in operation research. I will just share. So constraint is nothing, some value which has to be fixed, some value which has to be fixed. So in operation research, the approach was that there are certain value would be fixed. For example, my product cost, this is from the operation research experience I'm sharing. In constant is nothing but there are constant value. It is related with variable for sure. Okay, I'll say related with variable which is which is fixed. Okay, which is fixed. Related with variable which is fixed. Fair enough. Now, so constraint is something, of course, related with variable which is fixed in nature. Now, one approach I want to share, ऑपरेशन रिसर्च में एक कॉन्सेप्ट था उसमें क्या होता था कि देर आर सर्टेन इमेजिन आई हैव टू सेल ए प्रोडक्ट उस प्रोडक्ट का कॉस्टिंग और सेलिंग प्राइस फिक्स रहेगा मीन्स कांस्टेंट आई हैव टू अचीव दैट प्रोडक्ट सेलिंग कॉस्ट इज 20 rupees and given all the scenario constant means there are certain scenarios fixed. I have to achieve that 20 rupees condition given the constraint. Constraint is means condition. There are multiple conditions. Conditions conditions such as that what is the distance from the store to that particular store to particular warehouse or distribution location, supply chain connect. There are certain condition. Those condition has to abide in order to reach that particular cost, which is 20 rupees. Now, this function in this entire equation, the condition which is fixed, we cannot change those condition. We have to avoid those condition we call as constraint. So in programming also related with variable which is fixed in nature, we can declare that as a constraint which is fixed. We cannot change them. I hope it is clear. Now moving ahead to methods. This is one of the critical part by the way. So method is nothing but it's like various activity. Various methods are like group of activity, I will rather say. Let me find a official definition of method. Okay, methods. So what is official definition of methods? In object-oriented programming methods, a method is a okay programmed procedure that is defined as a part of class and included in any object or the class. So it's what exactly if I summarize program procedure. This is a nothing but a procedure, various procedure. When we you say is procedure means various functions, various actions. Procedure is a set of action. Okay, that is defined as a part of class which is within class. So it is nothing but a group of action which is within class and included in any object that of that class. So definitely we can call it that this method comes under class, under class. Now under class we have namespace, under namespace we have, I cannot say constraint directly, rather I will say method and then Properties is nothing but what we make an input of it. So what goes into method, that we call properties. So method is what, if I have to define, method is nothing but a group of or procedure, which is nothing but group of action which is under class. So I'll say group of action under the class. So that is, we can call it or consider that as a method. That's what we can declare as a method. Okay. Now the next parameter is procedure. What is procedure? Properties, sorry. Properties I am aware of. It's nothing. The various input goes into method. But let's have a look. What is the official definition of properties? Property in programming. What is properties? So properties in some object-oriented programming language is a special sort of class or member or intermediate in the function between a field, okay, or data member, and a method or property or method. Property is a member that provide a flexible mechanism to read, write, and compute the value of a private field. So property is nothing but, so here it is explained, I think in this exam, this is what is property. Property is of various functionality of that particular function. So here property is this, look at this. In this function, if I observe, let me search some good example which I can explain here. Yeah, I think this is good. And let us observe, this is good. Now here you can see under object we have properties and we have method. Okay, it is clear, I believe. This is, we are already aware. Now this image I want to look at. Now in this image it must be highlighting that what are the various properties we have and how it is catered to. Okay, this is much more detail. Now here class header, which is fine. Then constructor, okay, constructor header, fine. Use this to define X and properties in a class. So here these are properties. Look at this, X and Y. This dot X is nothing but a property of this particular class. A method that runs a point object is value. So leave this part. This is value, which is output we are looking for. But property is nothing but what goes into that function. What goes into that function? It's a part of function only. So I can define this as a nothing but inputs for the functions. This is one way. In other way also we can define it in a broader way. But these are the various parameter of which we need to learn even if we explore any tool. So we need to know what is class, what is namespace, what is method, what is property, what is constraint. If we have this idea, we can relate this particular tool right away. Okay, how it is working. What are the various methods? So now it is directory, correct? Directory function I'm using. Look at this. I have to just use this keyword. Now I can see why I am using directory. How you will know that which function you need to use? That is a question, right? How do I know that I have to use this function? So what is the objective? My objective of this particular command is to read the value from the file, or read the value from the, yeah, whatever files available in this folder, to read it. So that folder comes under directory command. So I'm searching, that's why directory command. So here you can see I have a directory command. Directory not found exception, directory info means if I have to get or retrieve some information of a folder which is saved, then I will use this directory info command. Directory function. Now my question is, I'll click on this directory, let's say directory only. Okay, you know this, correct? When I click on this, automatically highlighting it is nothing but a class which is part of system.io.directory. It is a class which is part of system.io.directory. That is how it is connected. That's how you can read and understand. So it is nothing but a part of class. So it is a class. By icon also, if I hover over it, by icon also it is highlighting it is a class. It is a class, right? So it is a class. I selected this class. Just tap over it or tab it. It will be auto selected. Now you can see automatically there is a pop-up. So type for each, don't go in each here, don't go into this. Now directory, then you dot a comma, use a comma. Automatically the methods will be populated within this particular class. within this particular class, whatever is available, whatever function is available is exposing. So first is function is its directory, and within that, these are the, if you hover over it, these are the, just a second, if you hover over it, these are the functions are available. Within directory class, these are the functions are available. Within directory, these are the things I can perform. These are the activity I can perform. What are the activity? I can create directory. Directory means you understand, correct? In programming, it's nothing but a creating a folder path, creating a path, creating a folder path. So directory comes under that. I can delete that a particular directory. I can enumerate a directory. Okay, enumerate a file. Equals, I can assign also equals here. Exist or not, I can check whether that directory exists or not. Then there are multiple set assets access control, set creation time. I can set this value also. Set creation time, UTC, a particular time zone we can use. Set current directory, set current directory, set last access time. These are the information I can extract, and not only extract, I can set. Set means I can put into that directory or that folder whatever I am creating connecting with this directory, and get means I am reading it, equals mean I am assigning it. There are three type of function I can see primarily. There are group of function. Most of the group of function is, look at this. This is very interesting observation, by the way. Most of the functions are either within this directory I have functions, so you can see these are get, right? So these are the functions are, if I observe, mostly this is get. I can see we have set function, which set is like setting the value, writing the value. Get means retrieving value. Get is retrieving value, set is writing the value. Then I have other functionality. Okay, just a second. Other functionality. Okay, get retrieve. Then we have primarily, yeah, delete delete functionality is there. Apart from delete, get, set, delete, and then there is one more is equals, assign. We are assigning, which is nothing but assigning a value. So in any particular function, these are the methods are there: get method, set method, delete method, assign method. These are the methods are available. Any function if you have, and this function could be related with any activity. It could be related with files, it could be related with folders, it could be it. These are anything. These are anything. It could be anything. File, folder. Within that, I can get, I can do set, I can do delete, I can do assign. These are nothing but various method I can do. Within this method only comes that property, whatever we observed so far. I'll come back to this later on, but I hope it is clear. So this is how it is classified. Can you see all this? When I hit at a dot, automatically all the methods are exposed here. I hope it is clear to you guys that how it is all connected. Wait, I am not able to control it. Yeah. So let's say I'm writing here file. I have to perform some file related operation. I selected file. Okay. This is again a class here, tab. Then I perform a dot or click a dot. All the methods which is related with file, all the function which I can apply in file is populated automatically. And I explain what is method in the backend. Correct? You can relate to this, right? Now I wanted to explain one more point here, very interesting. Now if I click on this property, let's open a MS Paint only. Let's decode this entire string, how exactly it is reading this value in this folder. Okay, so look at this. If I go back here, so in this section, if you can observe here, if I go back to this, delete this, and here, observe this carefully. Okay, now, okay, delete this. Fine. Now, this is, we observe that this is nothing. Okay. Yeah, I think this is fine. This is nothing but this file which we have. This is nothing but a class. So group of actions are there within this class. So it's mentioned already. Within this class, within this class, I have these are the methods. These are methods, various methods. And these methods I already explained. These are nothing but either primarily these methods are also divided into either it is setting some value, it is getting some value, set, get, delete, or insert, or others. Sometimes others also, other operation also it is performing. Most of the methods falls under this classification. These are the types. Either it will set some value, get some value, delete some value, insert some value, or others. Others are there, but again, most of them falls under the rest of this category. Fair enough. Now, a little bit if I highlight the background, little bit. So this is clear within file. When I press dot, all the methods are populating. Now methods, look at this. This I wanted to explain. So this is nothing but sub dot file dot. You can see append online. This is a method append online. So this is I can call is a method. This is a method. Fine. Now here path as string. So here this is what is required. These are called parameters. Primarily what are the parameters I will pass? Okay, parameters or argument we can call is a this particular area path as string. So I have to provide a path in this particular method. I need to provide a path. This is the input I required, and this is as string. It is saying that whatever path you provide, it is as string. Now this is what is required as a string. This particular uh, this particular thing is called, or this particular input is called, you can call as argument. Argument you can call as argument, you can call as a parameter. So, and these both it is asking as a string. I need to pass this as a string. Either it is argument or parameter, I need to pass that as a string. That is what I need to do. Fine, this is first stage. First, now they are saying constraint as enumerable, okay, enumerable of string. Fine, this is constraint. I cannot change it. So these are property. This is property 1, this is property 2, and this is property 3. There are three property within this method. There are three property within this method. In first property, this is a input parameter. It is asking some value. Number one. Number two, there are certain things are constant. I explained what is constant already. It's like fixed. We cannot change that. And that constant output I will receive as a string. Output I'll receive as a string, which is fine. Then there is a encoding. Encoding, this is default, like it is encoding that value. As encoding, it is also a parameter within this method. See, we no need to do this. This is by default, system is taking care. But there are three input parameter required in this method. I highlighted. One is the path. So what are the three things required? Look at in this way. Look at it this way. Delete this. So I have a class. Within this class, I have a method. Within this method, I have within this method is nothing but a function. Within this function, I have parameters. Now these parameters are also classified into certain, in this library there are three type of parameter. One is input parameter. Another is I can see is a constant. So input I have to provide anyway. Output is coming as a constant. So output it coming as constant. Output is coming as constant, which is fixed. I cannot change it. And there is certain default arguments are there. Okay. Parameter argument means what? Whatever input I am providing in this. Whatever input I am providing, those are called argument. Those are argument. Now the input means in this path parameter, if I providing X or Y, those are called argument. Fair enough. Now output I highlighted, this will be output of it. This will be saved as a string or number or anything, X, Y, Z. Default, there are certain value would be default saved. So there are three aspects to this parameter. So we have class, within this class we have method, within this method I have to pass parameter, within this parameter there are classification as input. I have multiple type of input. I have multiple type of input, and those input has three, like input, output, and default. Input, I have to pass argument in order to execute that task. That's how it is classified. Okay, I hope it is clear so far, and you guys can relate what is and how it is all connected here. I hope it is clear, guys. Okay, now, okay, this is fine. Default is fine. These are all connected. Default is fine. This is how the entire picture is connected. Let me take this snapshot because I may need to cover it in some other workshop also. Fair enough. Now here you go. Go back, insert, and go back to this. Sorry, insert, screen clipping, screen clipping. Oh, is it? I cannot take that actually. Got it. Go to this. Okay. Here I can take it, copy it. Fair enough. Minimize it and just go to this. Paste it. Awesome, right? So this is clear how it is all connected. Fair enough. Now you can relate all these properties also, how it is all connected. What is the definition of this property? So whatever activity I have to do, I have to search. Assign, where I want to assign. I wanted to assign in a file. I wanted to assign in a variable. I will search that variable here. I'm searching file, that's why I'm getting file. By default, variables will be also populating here. Imagine I'm not writing file here. Let's say I'm just doing a, let's say variable. I want to search a variable. Just space, hit space. Automatically everything in this I can assign. Everything I can do. It will highlight all this value. These are called, okay, this is particular activity called IntelliSense. Means automatically it is highlighting what can be done. All file is the variable. Here this icon underscore app domain, I need to check what this icon is. App domain, abby, these are the various properties I can use. Properties means functionality or argument I can pass in this. Why I'm calling these all things as argument? Because I'm passing, it is a parameter now, right? If you observe that explanation, whatever is passing in somewhere as an input, be it any functionality, we call it argument. That's why I'm calling these also as an argument in this function. When I hit space, sorry, hit space, these are also argument in this assign function, because this is an input, we are consuming this particular value. Clear? Now I was curious to look at what is come as a extract. What is this? Is namespace. Fine. Abstraction, which is namespace. Activity namespace. Activity event namespace, which is fine. But I want to see, yes, aggregator, aliases. These are list item. Keywords. Okay, aliases, aggregator. Okay, let's say I click on this aliases. Aliases dot what? Do I have any method? Yes, aliases I can perform, but I'm not getting anything here. But I can pass it here. Aliases. I don't know. Aliases as, and again everything we can put it here. But I need to check what can be done with these list items. But here it is clear what I am doing is all file, all file, and from the directory we are reading it. All file from the directory. Okay. All file from the directory we can keep it here. So directory dot get file. Directory, you are now, it's nothing but a class. Get file is a function, and from where I am passing a parameter argument, and I will get that particular file, whatever is available here right away. This is, this comes under this, and here we can search anything and everything. This is I love most. This is called universal search. You can search any command, any activity here. So you can see there are total 397 results are there. 397 ready to use functionality right away available for you to get started your automation journey, automation work. And if you know this 397 function, what it does, what kind of activity we do, enough. Like you can literally do anything. Now my question is, can I not print this value? I am curious. Can I not print this? Because see, Java related also we embedded that right now, correct? And we are able to search that also. Just give me a second. Okay, you can zoom in, zoom out, that is fine, no problem. But I selected this advanced editor. We can edit it here also, no problem there. This is again value in argument. We are passing in argument, which is fine. But what I wanted to do is something different. Wait, right click. Okay, annotate. I will explain these all parameters. These are basic. Don't worry. Save, create variable. Okay, surround with try catch, fine. Extract as window, which is fine. Disable activity, which can be also enabled. Toggle breakpoint. These are debugging activities, so no need to worry. What I was looking for, that universal search. Universal search. Okay, where that went out. Okay, once this is done, I'm pressing hit enter. I have this value, right? Now this value I have, I wanted, because here as you observe there is a universal search. I wanted to look at that one. Give me a second, guys. Okay, my back, yes, activities. I'm filtering activity, which is fine. But what is required to be done, what I'm looking at is universal search. Yeah, look at this. This is the key thing. Just observe this. Okay, I just observe this. What is this? So you can see, can I take a control of it? Give me a second. If I can, no, I cannot. I can, okay. Give me a second. Think I can cross it, do this, and with more, okay. Yeah, here you go. Let's say just click on this. Click on this, okay, fine. Okay, yeah. Now there are 397 ready to use command available as per my package install in this tool. Right away, like what else I can do? I can literally search that activity, whatever I wanted to perform it. And this is universal search. Not even activity will give me that kind of background. Everything and anything I am seeing here is available. So there are 397 functionalities available ready to use right away with us. I can embed in my workflow right away while automating the functionality. Okay. Now use Gmail. These are functions are available. 397. And if add more packages, I'll get more packages out of it right away. I will get more packages out of it. Okay, that can be also achieved. It is possible. Fine. Now, I think a basic understanding I want to give. So yeah, this is how we can search these actions, functionalities, which is available. And there are multiple actions and functionalities available right away. We can see it as well. No problem there. Now, what else we can search it and locate it here? Go back to this. Now, let me explain about this command which I was doing it. Okay, look at this. Now my question is, how can I find this? Because I'm able to add it here. So these all actually 397, these activity I want in a list. That is my objective. My question is how I get it. That's the question I have. How can I get this all functionalities one go as per my available packages? How can I get that? Because this, if I know, then I can group them up. Once I group them up, I don't think this is based on the alphabetical order. It is just a group of function. It's just a group of function. It is not even alphabetical order. Now, if it is not alphabetical order, then I need to check that how exactly I can, you know, export it. This is my option. Now, I think I know where we can find this out. Okay, I know that where we can. You go to help. This is one of the topic I want to touch base. You go to help. Any activity you are looking for support, you go to help. Okay, click on this help button at the top right corner, and there is an option called product documentation. Okay, product documentation. Help center is there. Academy, leave this product documentation. Click on this. It will open the product documentation page. Now this activity, all the activities I wanted to explore, all these activities are guides are there available right away. So have a look. Now release note, leave this. Okay, remember this version. Okay, most of the organization and interview, if you appear, they will ask which version of you have worked on. What is the release? So 2021 10.3. That's the last version you observe, and we explore it. This is very critical. Okay, getting started. Getting started. So fine. These are basic things are available already. Then automation project. Automation, okay, about libraries, various library managing activity packages. Yes, this is we need to check about libraries. What are the libraries are there? Fine, I wanted to explore this further, but let me check all the information which is dependencies, about dependency, managing dependency, project dependency, mass update. I will little bit go through in this also. What are the various dependencies we have? Type of workflow, what kind of workflow I have, sequence, flowchart, state machine. Yeah, this is I already explained at the beginning, correct? And look at this other workflow. I will go through this. File comparison, what kind of file comparison we can do, compare both the files. So there is previous file of a workflow I have, and then current file. I can compare both the file. That is also possible. Automation best practice, a very, very important. We'll go through each and every parameter of this best practices. Source control integration, that is also possible. I will talk about this. Debugging option is available. I'm aware of this, and I will explain in detail how exactly we can debug, how exactly we can debug a particular code, whatever we creates in. So that is also possible and feasible with this particular command here. We'll talk about this in detail in the later subsequent, connects, but that is possible. Now the diagnostic tool, what it does, the workflow analyzer, these are again editing purpose, don't worry. Studio active SDK, activities SDK, okay, about activities SDK, building activity project, setting, creating custom wizard. Okay, I have to understand this. Okay, fine. Argument, save this as a bookmark, very, very important, very, very important. Okay, and also not only that, make a note of this as a like help center. Okay, always you refer it. Fair enough. What else? We explored about that. Control flow we talked about, fine, which is available. Object repository, awesome. What kind of objects we have? Okay, selectors. We'll talk about selectors in detail, how exactly it works, fine. Data scrapping, how exactly we can read the data. Image and text automation, how can we read a value from an image and we can, extract the text information from that image. That is also available here. Automating Systrix technology. This is very critical. Okay, RDP automation. Okay, it's like RDP automation is nothing but remote desktop. Connecting with remote desktop, how exactly we can automate that functionality is there. Automation Citrix technology, how exactly we can automate with Citrix technology. Means any Citrix environment is available. So typically what happen is that we have multiple places where either we work with virtual machine or either we work with Citrix, correct? We work with virtual machine, we work with Citrix. Now, in virtual machine and Citrix, while working with automation, there are difficulties because virtual machine and Citrix is prepared for encrypting it, making it secure, correct? So it's like a lock. It's like a lock. So it is secured, correct? How do we automate within that secure environment, right? So that is the objective we can learn with this particular command. RDP automation remote desktop. Okay, remote desktop. How do we connect with remote desktop? Configuring step. How do we configure the step? How exactly we connect it? That step is clear, clarify here. So we can literally automate remote desktop also. We can automate Citrix application, image and text we can do. Selectors is nothing in a web application, window application, we can automate that. There these selectors comes into picture. Object repository, this is very interesting. Anyway I have opened it. Has it opened? Let me see. Let me check. What else we have available, guys? VMware Horizon 5, SAP automation, Salesforce automation, login. Scale, okay, scale coordinate migration tool, fine. Screen scrapper, Java support tool. Extensions, which is fine. Test suite, which is fine. WebDriver protocol, fine. Troubleshooting. These are the various functionalities available. Troubleshooting, how exactly, which kind of problems we can solve. Most critical, I can see everything. This is the studio guide. Everything and anything in this tool we are using is everything is available here. Okay, So now if I go to this activity panel, now how to create activities clearly mentioned, create activities with code, migrating activity .NET 5, customize activity, customize property, everything here mentioned. Using the activity creator, we can create multiple activity also. Now studio activity SDK. So there is a different means like different ID available through which we can create this activity. Building workflow analyzing rule, building activity project settings. How do we do that? So completely it has a different, I will say, setup where we can create our custom activity and then we can publish it, we can consume it wherever we want it. That is also possible and feasible with this, right? So this is all together you can see. I just highlighted that how you can explore further, what are the various information you can find out. Documentation is very extensive. We can literally consume it and understand and learn any concept which we required primarily. Correct. Product life cycle. You can understand product life cycle not required. Head back to the tool. This is fine. Now in this program, I am assigning this particular folder. This folder, I will show you a little bit what it is doing here. If you go back here, and if you go to RPA, if you go to UI path, not RPA, outside RPA, there is a folder called UI path. Go to folder UI path. Within UI path, you will see, okay, leave this part. Not UI path, RP only, EXP. Okay, just let me cross check what is the path I'm consuming it here. If you click on this, you click on this. That's it. So here I can see the picture UI path. This is the file. Okay, new folder. Within UI path, this folder, not this one. UI path. Within this, I have another folder. Within this, I am creating this. So there is a new folder. Here I have the file. Now I have three files. I have now four files by the way. Now in these four files, this is very interesting. This is blank file, blank file, blank file. This has certain text. Fair enough. Blank file, blank file, blank file, certain text. Now with directory command, I'm reading this entire URL. What I'm doing with directory command, I'm reading this entire URL. That is what I did here, reading this entire URL. After reading URL, every value is in. Now all the files within this directory is assigned to a variable called all files. Now if you click on, select this, click on variable, you will see there is a variable called all file. It is a string type variable. Scope is within this particular type and default there is no value, it is empty. So that's how we can read the variable, which is fine. Now next is for each. What is the objective is each file I have in this folder, I wanted to read each file. I wanted to loop each file, read each file, and then I wanted to perform certain activity on top of that file. How do we do that? Now here you can see for each file. So for each command I'm using it for each file. So here this you can keep it anything. I am saying file because I have to loop file. It is a basic, I'll say best practice while adopting it. That's why I'm keeping it a file. But you can keep it any other value. There is no challenge as such. Now file, I kept it here. Now there is an option called all files. What I'm going to do, all files. So file is nothing but this is called iterator. For each file, this is iterator, means whatever, all file is the directory. Session is directory. From that directory, whatever file, each file it will read, it will put that into variable called file. Now I will, whatever information, what it is happening, look at this, understand this logic, guys. I don't know, have you ever understood in this way the way I am explaining or not? But I believe it is definitely going to help you a lot. Okay, believe so. Look at this. What I am doing is, this is a variable container. I am reading all the file. I am assigning that into this particular variable. Fine. I'm assigning this into variable. Now what I am doing is, this is a variable where I have list of information, correct? It's a list of information because I don't have one file, I have multiple file there. Now the list of information, what I'm going to do is, I am going to loop through. Now this is, I have list of information. Each list, when I will loop through each list, correct? For each in a all file, when I loop each file, each value will be assigned to file. This variable. This is again a variable. How do we know this is a variable? If you click on this object. This is this flow. Click on variable. You'll see all file is there. File is default variable. System variable. So that getting captured in system variable. If you go that, then within that by default, this is a workflow. I drag and drop this workflow, I'm consuming it. So if you go back here and search is for each. Now for each, now you have see for each row, for each. So I'm using this workflow control for each. So I'm using this workflow control. Correct? Workflow control. Can you see that? So if I little bit drag it down, now I can see further within this by default, this command is their body. In this body, what I can do is, in this body, what I am doing is, I am reading the value from the file. So read text file. I'm reading the text file. Now text file is, so the each list value is assigned to file. Now this file is nothing but representing the text file which we reading in one after another. Now if I little bit scroll down, you can see within this file, within this particular file, I have that value, I have that file. Now I am extracting that as a text value. I'm extracting that as a text value. That's it. Reading the file. I'm reading the text to it. Okay, read text file. So here if you click on this, there is a object called property, yeah. So if I select this particular action, read text file, within that you can see the file name is nothing but file.toString. I'm converting into toString, and the output I am saving into a variable called file.contents. File contains, and this is which type of variable we'll be able to see it also. So if I click on this, you can see file content. It is a string type variable, and it is scope is this in body of this particular workflow. We can use it. So this is how the flow look like. I have this value now, right? I have this value now. Once I have this value, what I'm going to do is going back to this one. Okay, I have this value, and then going back to this one. Now here what I am trying to do is condition. I have a condition, I'm checking condition. So every value, all the value whatever I'm reading is feeded into this, or all the value is feeded into this variable called file contains. So whatever is within this file is now read and captured in the variable called file contain. It is saved there. Fine. So what is happening if I in a flow diagram, I have to make you understand also simultaneously, I can do that. So I have a directory, I have a folder, I have a directory. Within this folder I have four files. What I'm doing is I'm looping this file, each file, I'm looping each file, and I'm reading this all file. It's called all file. I am reading the name of the file in all file, saving this all file. Now then I will start loop. I'll start loop. Now how do I represent loop is like this, going backward, like this way in loop. I'm reading each file in a loop, and there is a variable of loop called file. So when I'm looping each things, it is a list of file. I have four file name, and when I loop through, each file will be assigned to this variable called file. Now in file, this value is available. Now from this file, what I'm going to do is I am going to read the value. I'm going to read the value. I'm reading already the value file dot contains whatever value this file contains. I'm reading that value right away. Now after reading this value, what I can do is, or what I'm doing it here is, I'm trying to assign that. So here I'm putting a condition on top of it. What is the condition? File contains dot toString is empty. If the file is empty, that is the only condition. If the file is empty, then append the line and say that it is a, then append a line in a folder. I have a folder, and say it was empty. And if it is not empty, then append the same file. There is a line you write that this is the file which contain text, and we are writing into this particular value right away. So this is nothing, only concatenating. I can explain this expression also later on. No need to worry. But what we are doing is, here a small condition I am applying. In this condition is nothing but file contain to string. If it is contain string, if it is contain string, if it is empty, then you call it out that it is empty. If it is not empty, write is file is not empty. Fair enough. That's it. That's the entire function. It will loop through each file. It will find out whether the value I have within the file or not. If I have that file value within that, it will say, hey, file is not empty. If it is empty, it will call out it was empty. So you can see if you go to my directory, in this directory I have four file, and you can see all four files. If I open it, this is empty, and this is empty. Fair enough. And but the result has a value, by the way. Result has a value. Result has a value. Fine. Now again I am running this file. What will happen? I'm running. So it is done. Now directly click on this run button. Once I run this particular file, I will say the bot is getting executed. We can see that everything, log everything, we can see it here at the bottom. Okay, it is getting executed. Once it is getting executed, I'll get a message also that it is executed successfully. Okay, so here you can see, okay, if any file is open, then it could cause a problem. Okay, but here, how do we know it is executed? We'll be able to see from the log. Here we'll be able to see output. Oh, it is enabled, debugging enable. Okay, I don't want to run in a debug mode, by the way, guys. Sorry. I don't need to run in a debug mode. I clicked on debug mode, that's why it is running in a debug mode. I don't need to do that in debug mode. Select this right away, the entire flow. I can run it from here also. If I right click here, I can run from here also. Run to this activity, run from this activity. I can run this. Okay, so if I run it, it is executing. Okay. Now see, is it processing? You may now edit variable, which is fine. I will edit it anyway. See, output it will highlight that it is ran successfully. It is not ran successfully, by the way. Continue. It is running in a debug mode. That's the problem. Okay. Stop debugging. Don't run in debugging. I stopped debugging. Go through the design. In the design, I went here. Debug file, no. Run file only. Don't debug. Just run the file. Look at this. Now it is running that file. It is minimized when it is running in the backend. Once it is running in the backend, I click on this, it is running in the backend. Once it is run, we can see the status also here. We can see the status also. It is successfully run. Yeah, my first robot, it is run successfully. You can see it here. It is extracted or run successfully. Now, if you open this, see, if you open this, result is getting saved here. Now it is calling out whether it is successfully run or not. And you can see result file, only the file which was not, uh, result file is the only file which has text value. You can see was text was empty, 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 but result file, if you see, it must read the result file. It is reading only doc1, okay, doc1, copy, fine. Result file, contain text. It is highlighting that it contain text. Look at this. Only this file contain text, rest all file as empty. So I can successfully identify from a directory which file is available. I am reading the file from a folder, and then I am finding out whether it has value or not. If it has value in it, then I'm calling out it has a value. It does not have, I'm calling that out also and capturing the information in the document. I hope it is clear to you and you can relate this and you can learn a lot of other concept also. If I go back to my session here. Now you can see we learn about why UiPath, version details, creating a simple workflow, how to get help. I cover all these parameters. Not only that, I given a demo also. Simple workflow I created, I shown you. On top of it, I explain about what are the various properties are there, what are the various keywords you need to learn in order to work with activities, what is the hierarchy of this any function. in UiPath. These are the pointers we cover. And also I talked about documentation and what are the informations available within this document. That also in depth I have explained you so that you can relate that also later on. I hope this actually helps you to understand, get familiar with it, understand the approach, little bit insight it has definitely has given you guys. And that was the entire intention. If you have any question, let me know. Do share your comment here if you have any question, primarily question or anything you want to learn about it. Feel free to reach out and connect and collaborate on this, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day ahead, guys. Bye.